All right, let's get started. All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our revision class. This is lesson 2. If you have not watched lesson 1, right, you can, we have already sent your parents the web link, so you can go in and have a look at it. So I'm Mr. Siu here. I'll be the trainer for this session. So let me walk you through. Okay, before we get started on the lesson, right? So there are some students who are here for the first time. So let me do a brief introduction of what we do over here. So we are from Math Accelerator Center. So we are a Math Specialist Center, and we specialize in helping students with borderline grades to turn around their results within a short time, right? Over the last 5 years, we have turned around about more than 500 students. We have helped more than 500 students, okay, and transformed their grades, okay, within a short time. Within a span of about 60 to 90 days, we're able to help them jump at least 1 to 2 grades from where they join us till the time they get their year-end paper. So the objective of us starting this revision session is we know a lot of students are struggling with problem sums, especially some of them cannot understand keywords, right? Don't know which are the keywords that they need to focus on, when others do not know how to draw the correct models to help them solve the question, right? So we want to help students prepare for their SA2. So, and help them to gain a better understanding on how to solve problem sums. For P4, it will be section C, right? I'm sure some of you will be facing a little problem with section C. How many of you are facing problem with section C? Maybe you do not understand some of the questions and so on, right? Maybe you understand what you're reading, but you do not know how to connect it to the right strategy to solve, right? So these are some of the things that we'll be discussing in this whole series of 6 revision classes, right? It's a short one. So first of all, we want to help students improve their understanding. And next, we have to boost up their confidence in tackling problem sums. Now, we're going to show you in the next hour on how to solve problem sums in a systematic manner that you can remember, okay? And repeat the whole process even when you're facing the similar questions in SA2. So that will help you prepare better for the final year exam. So now, before we get started, so just to inform you some of our upcoming events. So we have, we know that SA2 is coming. SA2 is happening at the end of October to the first week of November. So we have received many requests from parents and students that, hey, why don't you start a class to help students? So we'll be starting SA2 booster class, which is from the first week of October. Right, this will be 4 classes in October, 4 lessons, right? So in these 4 lessons, we'll be helping you to do a general revision as well as introduce some of the problem sum strategies that you can use in the year-end exam, right? Then the next one will be there will be a PSLE marking week. There will be 4 days where you don't have to go to school. So during these 4 days, we'll be organizing a revision boot camp, right? The revision boot camp. So in this revision boot camp, later I will show you the slides on where are the important dates. So this is our website. So if you go to our website under programs, you should be able to see the October revision program. So from here, let's say P4, right? In P4, so October revision program, we have 2 to offer. One is the booster class, right? The booster class, as I mentioned, is 4 lessons. So in these 4 lessons, these are the topics that we will be covering. In lesson 1, time, lesson 2, whole numbers, and the heuristic that we'll be covering will be equal models and comparison. You can read all about this later. Okay, maybe I will send it to the whole class over here. Right, this will be the booster class. So when will it be? So we have about we have both online lessons as well as live lessons. Okay, when we talk about live lessons, we are referring to physical lessons at our center. As I mentioned before, we are located at Parkway Center. So you can take a look at the schedule, and if it meets and you think you need it, do let us know and we can help you to register. Another one that we'll be offering will be the final revision bootcamp, right? As I mentioned before, this is during the PSLE marking week. So let me share this link with everybody as well. Right, this is the link. So this is a condensed version of the, this is a condensed version of the 4 weeks lessons. So we're going to cover in these 2 days. What we're going to cover especially will be equip students with the strategies and skills to solve trending SA2 problem sums. Right, we're going to focus more on how to solve the tricky ones and non-stop one, right? Okay, the tricky ones that students will get careless mistake, right? They make a lot of careless mistake in this area. So these are the trending ones which will be helping you to equip you with the skills so that you can solve it. So these are the schedule. They both will have online as well as live classes. Yeah, as I mentioned, these are the 4 weeks lesson is focused on the topical revision, while the 2 days revision bootcamp will be more focused on the solving trending SA2 questions. Because when we start the bootcamp already, it will be about less than a week before the students actually take the exams. All right. Right. So next. So this is the outline of the lesson. So today we'll be covering strategy 1, which is on access and shortage, and strategy 2 will be on access and equal stage, and we will have 2 higher order thinking questions at the very end of it. As usual, let's go through the ground rules. Right, audios are muted because we have a big audience over here. So the only primary communication with us is through chat. So please participate actively both in answering questions and asking questions. Okay, we do not encourage spamming in the chat. Now, if you think this class is not suitable for you, you can just go off quietly and nobody will stop you. But please don't spam so it makes everybody uncomfortable, right? Please be considerate and listen attentively and write down the solutions, and most of all, have fun, all right? So let's get started with the questions. So if you're ready for the questions, can you say yes? Right, thank you. So let's get started with the questions. So today we'll be covering access and shortage and equal stage. And also we'll be covering 2 higher order thinking questions. Now, when we talk about access and shortage, right, it's important for us to identify where is the access and where is the shortage. So this is the first step. The second step that we should be doing will be to construct a table to visualize the problem. And the third step that we'll be doing will be to identify the common number in both sets of calculations. And number 4 will be to solve for the question. So let's go through the first question. Now, this is a typical access and shortage question over here, right? So Mrs. Tan bought some sweets for a group of children. When she gave them 4 sweets each, there are 10 left. When she gave them 10 sweets each, she is short of 20. So how many children are there? Now, so this is in terms of multiples, right? So let me help you break down this question. So when she gave each of them 4 sweets, means it's a multiple of 4. Therefore, we multiply by 4. There will be 10 sweets left. That means there will be an excess. So this is a excess. The next question, the next line tells us that when she gives them 10 sweets each, means 10 sweets each is a multiple of 10. So in times 10, she is short of 20. So here is less than 20, right? So you have to minus 20 from your answer. So example, if we assume that there are 3 children, so we make an intelligent guess. So 3 times 4 is 12. Since there's excess of 10 sweets, right? So 12 plus 10 will give us 22. So 3 times 10 will give us 30. 30, yes, please write on your worksheet. So 3 times 10 is 30. 30 minus 20 will give us 10. So as you can see, these two numbers, they are not the same. So if they're not the same, that means this is not the right combination. So we put a cross on it. The next thing we must do is, if it's not 3, then we progress on to look for 4, right? Let's see whether there are 4 children. So we can only work it out, right? So we're going to work this out. 4 times 4 will give us 16. 16 plus 10 will give us 26. Okay, then we do the next set of calculation. 4 times 10 will give us 40. 40 minus 20 will give us 20. So this is also not the right combination. Maybe you can try for me and try assuming there are 5 children. Can you try for me and let me know whether this is the correct combination or not? Right, if it's the correct combination, just type yes. If it's not, you can type no. All right, let's check. So 5 times 4 is 20. Yeah, Braden say yes, Devak say yes. So let's check. So this 20, so 20 plus 10 will give us 30. The next one, 5 times 10 will give us 50. And 50 minus 20 will give us 30. All right, since this is the right combination, right? Let's answer the question. So can you tell me how many children are there? Now that we have the correct combination. All right, thank you, Amber. You got it correct. How about the rest of you? Jai, I think you have to look at it again. There cannot be 30 children. Right? This is the correct combination, right? Number of children is the first row. And we're asking you how many children are there. So the correct answer should be 5, right? So your answer is 5. Right, 5 is your answer over here. Okay, how many of you got the same answer as me? Type me too. And the rest of you, if you are following, this is the first time you're new to this, you start follow because you're able to follow the steps. All right, thank you everybody. So now, all right, let's move on to the second question. So I'm going to read this question one more time, right? Madam Siti bought some sweets for her class. If she give 5 to each pupil, she will have 4 sweets left. If she give 9 to each pupil, she will need 32 more. So how many sweets how many pupils are there? So first, we make a guess that we assume there are 7 pupils. So 7 times 5 is 35. There is the excess, right? Whatever is left is the excess. So this is the excess. And if she give them 9, she will need 32 more. 32 more means there is a shortage. So now, let's try to solve this question. So we have 7 times 5 is 35. Yeah, we are doing excess and shortage. So yeah, thank you, Rania, for asking the question. So we have 35, and since there is an excess, we add 4, then we get 39. Next, 7 times 9, because you give 9 sweets, right? So 7 times 9 is 63. So 63 minus 32, you minus the shortage, you get 21. Since these two numbers are not equal, this is not the right combination. Right, let's try to solve, let's try to assume that if there's 8, whether 8 is the correct answer. Okay, are there 8 pupils? Can you try for me? 8. Can I give you a minute? Right, 8 does not work. Let's check. 8 times 5. 8 times 5 is 40. So 40 plus 4 is 44. 8 times 9 is 72. 70. What is 72 minus 32? Oh, you have to print out the worksheet, right? Arunesh, we already sent you the worksheet already. So you give us 40. So 44 and 40, they are not the same, right? Then we move on to 9. Okay, 9 also does not work. Is it? Let's check. 9 times 5 will give us 45. 45 minus 45 plus 4 will give us 49. Then the next one, 9 times 9 will give us 81. Can you help me take 81 minus 32 and let me know the answer? Okay, 81 minus 32 will give us 49, right? So 49 and 49 is a match. So since it's a match, this is the correct combination. So can you tell me how many pupils are there? Right, good job, everybody. Give yourself a pat on the back. You have 9 pupils, right? So 9 pupils is the correct answers to this question. Okay, great. Let's move on to number 3. Now, number 3 is a variation of the excess and shortage question, right? You do not have to draw the table. In this question, what you need to do is to use a simple model to help us understand the situation. So let me read the question to you. So Sam had enough money to buy 8 shirts. However, he decided to buy 5 shirts and have 90 left. So what is the cost of 1 shirt? Okay, so to understand this question, right? So at the beginning, it says Sam has enough money to buy 8 shirts. So we draw a model that illustrates 8 shirts. We can draw 8 units. Right, and then we put the S to indicate the shirt. Right. So after that, what should we do? So instead of buying 8 shirts, now he decided to buy 5 shirts. So we block out 5 shirts. What we can do is 5 shirts. So this is the lot for 5 shirts. So the blue indicates the second situation. He buys 5 shirts and he has $90 left. Remember, he has enough to buy 8 shirts. So now instead he buys 5 shirts. The same model will have the same length, right? Just that there is now 5 shirts and $90. So now can you tell me, how do I find? Are we able to solve this question from here? We can, right? Can you, how many shirts is equals to $90? 3. So 3 shirts is equals to $90. So how about 1 shirt? right? We divide by 3. So we find out that the cost of one shirt is 30. So A, the answer is $30 for each shirt. How about B? How much money did he have at first? Are you able to help me with the calculation? And let me know the correct answer for part B. Right, good job. Right, thank you, Amber. Thank you, Aiden. Right, Dira, you got it. Douglas, you got it. So for B, remember, he has enough money to buy 8 shirts. So it should be $30 times 8. And that will give us an answer of 240, right? So 240 will be the answer for part B. All right? How many of you got the answer just like me? Type me too, right? If you are new to this question and you're able to follow, just type follow. All right. So you can follow the model. All right, that's good. So now, can I give you some time? You read number 4 first, right? You just read number 4. So after you read, I'll give you a minute before I start, right? The question is here. You look at the question. So it's 8 shirts. I draw 8 units on top. Okay, right now. Then the bottom one, I draw, he's able to buy 5 shirts and have $90 left. So the amount of money he buy to buy 8 shirts, he buy 5 and he has 90. So you draw the same model in terms of length, then you're able to find the value of one shirt. Okay, now I'm going to erase my screen so that I can move on to the next question. Now, some of you are asking me that you can't see my question and so on. May I know, is it because you do not have it printed out and you're just reading from the screen? How many of you are reading from the screen? If you are, can you type the word screen? I want to see how many of you. Right. Okay. How many of you have the worksheet? If you have the worksheet, right, type WS. All right. Thank you. So like the majority of you have the worksheet and just a few of you do not have it, right? So if you do not have it, can you just read off the screen over here? Right? So I'm going to read question 4. Flora had the exact amount of money to buy 7 scarves at the same price. However, she bought only 4 scarves and had $144 left. What was the cost of one scarf? So the keywords to this question is over here. So she has the exact amount to buy 7 scarves. So the first step is to draw 7 units to indicate 7 scarves. Yeah, same method. 3 and 4 will be the same method, right? So here we draw 7 units here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, however, Flora bought only 4 scarves and had $144 left, right? So now the same model means right from this end to the other end. This indicates the amount of money Flora has. Now she changed her mind. She didn't buy 7. She ended up only buying 4, right? So 4 scarves is up to this portion. So here there are 4. So after you buy 4, you have $144 left. Can you tell me $144 can buy how many scarf? Right, can buy 3, right? Thank you, Amber, Jai, and Braden. So 3 scarf is equals to 144. So A is asking us what's the cost of 1 scarf. So 144 divide by 3, and we will get an answer of 48. Right, I see a lot of people get 48 as well. Good job, Estelle, Braden, Lloyd, you got 48. So the next part, this is answer for A. Let me write down here. The second question is asking us, how much money did she have at first? Are you able to help me calculate this? Can I give you a minute, right? You can show me the steps. Show me the steps to arrive at the answer for part B. So remember, at the beginning, it was mentioned that she has exact amount of money to buy 7 scarf. All right. So B. So $48. She has enough to buy 7. So we multiply by 7. What do we get? We multiply by 7. So I see 2 answers. There's someone who tell me it's 144 times 7. Then the other one tell me that it's shouting back at me that says 48 times 7. So which one is correct? Choice 1 or choice 2? Should be choice 2, right? Because they say 1 scarf is 48, right? Then you times 7, we should get 336. Right, so 336 is the answer for part B. So how many of you have 336 and 48? Type me 2. Okay, so if you're following, just let me know, then you type follow. Then I will understand that. Okay. You haven't learned this till now. Have I make it easy for you, Kai-Sian? Right, do you think this method is easy to follow? And are you able to use it in school if you face similar question? Right, Douglas says it's easy, right? Oh, it's a bit difficult. How many of you think that this question is difficult to follow? And how many of you think it's easy? Right, difficult type DIFF, right? Okay, easy, then medium, you type MED lah. Then if it's easy, you just write the short form EZ, right? Is it difficult? Medium means okay, sometimes you can solve it, sometimes cannot. Easy, that means one look at it, I already know I can use model to solve this question, right? Okay, great. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you something that you're able to manage on your own, okay, after the lesson. So what you need to do is after the lesson, you need to practice again, right? You need to practice again before you're able to master all this, okay, as in all things. So now let's go on to the next question. Can you help me type S2 so we can move to strategy 2? Right, S2. Right, thank you. Let's move to the next question. So the next question, we're going back to another heuristic called equal stage. Now, equal stage, there's equal stage at the beginning and equal stage at the end. So we're going to work 2 questions on equal stage at the beginning and after that, equal stage at the end, right? So in the first question, it says that Helen and Diana had an equal number of soft toys. After Helen threw away 6 of her soft toys, Diana had thrice as many soft toys as Helen. So how many soft toys did Helen have at first? So from this question, it says that both of them have equal number of soft toys at the beginning. So if they're the same, right? So what we do is we draw equal model to help us solve this question. Okay, we can illustrate the first statement by drawing equal model. After Helen threw away 6 of a soft toy, right? So we're going to throw 6 away. Now Diana has 3 twice as many soft toys as Helen. That means Helen is 1 unit and Diana becomes 3 units. So now, from here, we can see from our model that 2 units is equals to 6, right? I can see some of you already. So from here, 1 unit will be equals to 6 divided by 2, and we've got 3. So from here, can you answer the question? How many soft toys did Helen have at first? Right. So both of them have the same number of soft toys at first, right? That's why they say they're equal number of soft toys, right? So if you're able to find out how many Diana have, then we will be able to answer the question of how many soft toys Helen have at first. Am I right? So Diana has 3 units. So the value of 3 units is 3 times 3. Thank you, Estelle. We get 9. Right? So 9. So if Diana has 9, Helen also have 9 at first, before she threw away 6 of her toys. So your answer should be 9. All right, how many of you have 9 before me? Type me too. If you have it together with me, you type follow. Right. Okay. So can you rate this type of question? Is it D for difficult, M for medium, and E for easy? Or easy lah. Easy put EZ lah. Okay, this one easy, right? Okay, can follow. Okay, not so difficult. The medium. Okay. Okay, let's move on to, shall we move on to the second question? Right, if you are going to the second question, can you type 2? So we move on to the second question, right? Okay, let's move on to the second question. Here's the second question. Let me read to you. There was an equal number of boys and girls at an exhibition. After half of the boys and 42 girls left the exhibition, there were 12 more boys than girls at the exhibition. How many students were there at the exhibition at first? Right. So this is equal at the beginning, all right? Equal stage at the beginning, because it says there's equal number at the very beginning. So we draw an equal model for boys and girls over here. Renelle, I think you having lag, huh? So you need to log out and log in again. Maybe you have a bad connection. You have to log in again. Okay? I'll admit you again. You log out first. You go out of the room. Right. So the next thing is, after half the boys and 42 girls left, half the boys, so we split the boys into 2. And 42 girls left, but I do not know where to cut. Let's read on. There were 12 more boys than girls at the exhibition. Half the boys left. So after that, the boys is there are 12 more boys than girls at the exhibition. So here, so you have more boys than girls, so you have 12 more girls here compared to the boys, right? So here is what is left for the girls. So from here to here are the 42 girls who have left the exhibition, right? So here, this is what the boys left, this is what the girls left. So the boys has 12 more compared to the girls left, right? So this is 1 unit, this is 1 unit, this is also 1 unit. From here, can you tell me what's the value of 1 unit? Right? 1 unit is 42 minus 12 equals to 30. So how many students are there at the exhibition? Right? How many students are there at the exhibition? So we know we can calculate the boys first, right? So boys have 2 units. So 2 units is equals to 30 times 2. We will have 60. Right? So you have 60 boys at first, you should have 60 girls at first as well, right? So 60 plus 60, and what's the final answer? We will have 120. Now this is where I work forward. Right, some of you are confused. So I'm going to share with you another method which will maybe make it clearer. So take note that the answer is 120. So I'm going to clear my screen for a short while, so that you can see whether you understand this. So there was equal number of boys and girls at first. After half of the boys and 42 girls left the exhibition, there were 12 more boys than girls. Right, so we're going to illustrate 12 more boys than girls first. So here are the boys. The girls, we draw slightly shorter. And this portion is 12. Now, then we work backwards. We have to add back 42 girls and we have to add back half the boys, right? So this is half of the boys left. So we add the equal model to indicate the equal half. So this is 1 unit, this is 1 unit. So now we know where to end for the girls model. So we just add back 42 here. So this is 42. So from here, this is 42. This portion is 12. So therefore, to find 1 unit, it must be 42 minus 12, and we'll get 30. So 1 unit is 30. So the entire 2 unit must be 2 times 30, will give us 60. So students at the exhibition will be 60 times 2. Because boys 60, girls also 60. Then we will get 120 as our answer. Okay, so I did 2 methods. One is working forward. One is working backwards. Can you let me know which one is your preferred method, forward or backward? F for forward, B for backward, or FW forward, B is for backwards. You can use both, just that which one can you remember? Okay, you can use forward. Okay, most of you prefer forward, right? Forward. Right, so let's move on from here. Right, so the next one that we'll be doing will be the equal stage at the end. So Maggie, Helen, so this is equal stage at the end. So Maggie, Helen, and Janet have 360 cards altogether. After Maggie gave Jane 20 cards and Helen gave Jane 70 cards, all of them have an equal number of cards. So how many cards did Helen have at first? So after reading this question, so let's highlight some of the keywords over here. So there are 360 cards altogether. That's the first part. So Helen gave Jane 20 cards. Helen gave Jane 70 cards. All of them have equal number of cards, right? So now, the first thing I want to ask you, does the number of cards at the beginning and at the end, are they the same? Right, are they the same? No. Okay, let's check why. Huh? So imagine there are 3 persons. If Maggie gave Jane, Helen gave Jane, isn't the total the same but among the 3 of them? Right. So there's internal transfer of these 360 cards. So the total number of cards at the beginning and the total number of cards at the end, they are equal. Right? They are equal. So in the end, that means Maggie, Helen, and Jane, all of them have the equal amount. All right. So from here, what should we do? So we should divide 360 by 3. So what do we get? So we get 120. So imagine this is 120, this is 120, this is 120. So what should we do next? So we should work backwards, right? Since we started at the end, when they are equal. So now we only want to find out about Helen, how much she have at first. So the only clue about Helen is over here. It says that Helen gave Jane 70 cards. Now, when we work backwards, right, we need to add back, right? Whatever she gave out at the beginning, she has to take back. So she has to take back another 70 cards. Right, 70, because we're working backwards, right, Lloyd? That's why we have to add back. What we presented here are the numbers at the end, after the transfer. So at the beginning, we have to ask Jane to return the 70 cards back to Helen so that she has what she has at the beginning. So at the beginning, for Helen, she will have 120 plus 70. And what's the final answer, everybody? Okay, we will have 190, right? 190 will be the answer for this question. Can you follow this? Right. So how do you rate this question? Right. So is it difficult or medium or easy? Okay, easy, right? Medium. Okay. So different people will have different interpretation of this question, right? So what we want to do is but is the explanation easy for you to follow? Yes or no? Is the model method easy for you to follow? Okay, now you do, right? Anybody need me to use another method to explain to you again? All right, no need, right? So, okay, so let's type question 2, right? Then we can get started on number 2. Just type 2. All right, thank you. Let's move on. Now, number 2, can you, I spotted an error just now. So can you help me correct it? It's the one highlighted in yellow. Okay, it's the one highlighted in yellow. So Raymond and Raouf had a total of 224 marbles at first. After Raymond had bought another 12 marbles and Raouf gave away 30 marbles. Okay, please change the error over here and replace it with the highlighted words. Okay, both of them had the same number of marbles left. So how many marbles did Raymond have at first? So now that we have read the question, the next thing that we need to do is over here, right? At the total of, after Raymond had bought another 12 marbles, Raouf gave away 30. They both have the same number of marbles left. So what we need to do is, we need to work backwards, right? Because the equal is at the end. So we have two names, Raymond and Raouf. So they have the same number of marbles at the end. So Raymond had, now we work backwards. Raouf gave away 30 marbles. Then what should we do? Plus or minus? When we work backwards. Do we need to add 30 or minus 30? Can you help me type a plus or a minus? Right. Is it plus 30 or minus 30? Okay, when we move forward, we give away means minus, right? When we move backwards, we do the opposite, right? When we do the opposite of minus, that means we need to do the plus, right? Good job to those who got it correct. So here, we need to add 30. So the next one, Raymond bought 12 more. So when you move forward, you add 12, right? So you move backward, you should plus or minus. Is it plus 12 or minus 12? Move backwards. When you move forward, you add, right? So you move backward, you should. Right, good job, Julia and Renelle, Braden also. Evangeline, we should minus 12. So here we minus 12. Then we add back the beginning information. So there are 224 at the beginning. So the next thing, so here is 12. Here is also 12. Right? So now, what's the total of these two numbers? $42. Yeah, I told you to already highlighted that you should change it. Yeah, I already told you at the very beginning, Natanya. Can you help me to change it first? So now, from here, so this is 42. Let's take it that these are 2 units over here. So how do I find the value of these 2 units? We do a subtraction, am I right? So we're going to subtract 42 from 224. Can you let me know what's the answer? We should get 182, right? So now if 2 units is 182, can you let me know what's the value of 1 unit? Right, we take 182 divided by 2. What do you get? 91. All right, thank you, everybody. So if 1 unit is 91, let me highlight over here. This unit is 91. So now we want to find how much does Raymond have at first. Raymond has this amount at first. Oh, Raymond has just 1 unit, right? Okay, Raymond has just 1 unit at first. So Raymond has 91 at first. Right, you don't have to add the 12 because the 12 is later on, then he bought 12. Right, at the very beginning, he only have 1 unit. So the answer is Raymond has 91 marbles at first. Can you follow? How many of you have 91? Just like me. Right? Okay. How do you find this question then? Time to rate. Is it easy, medium, or difficult? Oh, easy again, right? Oh, okay. Very easy. Not so easy. Difficult. Okay. All right. So does the model help you understand it better? Yes, it does, right? Okay, great. Okay, that's great. Right. So now if you're ready, right, let's move on to our higher order question. So can you help me type page 6, P6? Then we move on to the next question. Right, thank you. Let's move on. So Ling, in this question, there are 2 higher order thinking questions. These are the questions that likely to appear in section C of your exam paper. So in this question, Ling had thrice as many stamps as Siti. Ling gave 51 stamps to Siti. So in the end, Ling has 34 more stamps than Siti. Find the number of stamps that Ling had in the end. No, there's only 2 questions now today. That's the end of it. We will be finishing around 9 o'clock. Right, these are the 2 questions. High order means not so easy to solve, right? Is it okay? Have I answered your question? All right. Okay, let's try. So what should we do in the beginning? We should underline some of the keywords here, right? So here say thrice as many. Then Ling gave 51 stamps to Siti. And in the end, Ling had 34 more stamps than Siti. So these are 3 key information over here. We should begin by drawing model to represent this information, which is thrice. So we'll be drawing Ling compared to Siti. So Ling is 3 units compared to Siti, who has 1 unit. Ling gave 51 to Siti. So here we add 51. Here we minus 51, right? I'm going to do some highlighting so to indicate that this was given away. Now, after that, it says that Ling has 34 more stamps than Siti. So where is the 34? Ling is left with up to here, right? So here to here should be 34. Can you tell me how to solve this question? Oh, Lloyd has some suggestion already. 85 is 2 units. Is that true? So this is 1 unit. Okay, let me illustrate again. This is 1 unit. Here to here is 1 unit. Here is 1 unit. So where is 1 unit now? So the 1 unit should be from here to here, right? This is the value of 2 units, right? 2 units. So what is the value of 2 units? The value of 2 units should be 51 plus 34 plus 51. So let's try. 51 plus 34 plus 51. Can you help me add up everything? Yes, right? If you add up everything, you should get 136. So if 2 units is 136, can you let me know what's the value of 1 unit? So we take 136, divide by 2. What do we get? Right, you get 68. So what's the last part? We're supposed to find the number of stems Ling had in the end. Right? There, 2 units. I just showed you. Then this is 1 unit, this is 1 unit. So these 2 units is the combination of 51. It's a sum of 51, 34, and 51. All right? So now, so the amount of money that Ling has is equals to, she used to have 3 units. Then she gave 51 to Siti. Therefore, to find the amount of money that Ling has, we just multiply 3 units together, get the value of 3 units, and then we subtract 51, right? Okay, great. Lloyd, you got it. So what's the answer? So Ling, so let's find the value of 3 units first. So what's the value of 3 units? So 3 units is 68 times 3. What do we get? Two, zero. Okay, thank you, Julia. Julia got it. 204, right? So 204. So Ling, she used to have 204, but she gave 51 away to Siti. So how many stems does she have in the end? Right? So if you do your subtraction, okay, we see a lot of correct answers already. Dira, Lloyd, and so on. Jana, you got it. So 153, right? You should get 153. Okay, 153 is the answer. How many of you have 153? Let me know. Okay, great. I can see, right? So how many of you following? Maybe you're not very sure you're able to follow my steps. Okay, you're following. Right. Okay, Anuresha, is it? Yeah, that's your name? Okay. Right, Anuresh. Okay, following, right? So now, how do you rate this question? Is it easy, medium, or difficult? Oh, hard. Okay, some are easy, some are hard, some are difficult. All right, so has the model helped you understand better, right? Okay, better, right? Okay, so just remember, when you need to visualize these questions, it's good that you draw a model to help you understand, right? So now we're going to do the last question. So if you're ready, can you type question 2? Then we move on to the last question. Okay, let's move on. So this is a question. Alice, Brenda, and Cindy had a total of $350. Alice had 50 less than Brenda. Brenda had 125 more than Cindy. So how much did Alice have? So to understand this question, we need to draw a comparison model, right? So Alice had 50 less than Brenda. So the first model that we should be drawing will be based on this statement here. So Alice compared to Brenda. So who will be longer? Which model will be longer? Alice's model or Brenda's model? Can you let me know? A or B? The longer model. B, right? Okay, so we draw 1 unit for Alice and then slightly longer for Brenda. So here, this is $50. The second one, Brenda had 125 more than Cindy. So between Brenda and Cindy, who has a shorter model? Shorter now. Is it B or C? Shorter model. C, right? Yep, because Brenda has more. So she would have this amount, right? And the difference between them is 125. And now we add in the total at the beginning is 350. Right, 350. So how do we solve this question? So the very first thing that we need to do is we need to fill in the gap, right? We need to find how much does Alice have. So we need to add. We need to make all this into whole units. So here we need to add 50. Here also we need to add 125. So 50 plus 125. What would this give us? 175. So we add 175 to the left side. We must also add 175 to the right side, right? So now, can you add up for me? What is 350 plus 175? So we're going to add 350 plus 175. That will give us 525. So here is 525 over here, right? 525. So what should we do now? Now there's 525. So we have 3 big units now. So the units is the size of Brenda, right? So now we have to divide by 3. So 3 big units is 525. So we have to find 1 unit. So what is 525 divided by 3? $175, right? 175. So now we need to find Alice. So if we know that Brenda, here to here is Brenda, right? Is 175. And then Alice is $50 less than Brenda. Can you let me know what's the value of Alice? Okay, so we will take 175 minus 50, right? And that will give us 125. So your answer for question 2 is 125. How many of you have the same answer as me? Type me too. Okay. So if you're following my steps, type follow, or you can type a F for short. Okay, great. So now, the last part, can you help me to rate this question? Do you find this question easy, medium, or slightly difficult? Right, slightly, just slightly. Okay, slightly difficult already, right? It's okay. What is sad? There's no sad. There's either easy, medium, or difficult. Okay, now, have you learned something within this hour? I hope so, right? I certainly hope so, right? So, something new? Something you can use? Right, hard. Oh, okay, lemon squeezy. Right, let me go back to my last slide. Okay, I hope you learned something. So now, so I'd like to thank you for joining us today. If you have any questions, please email us at mathacceleratorcenter@gmail.com, or you can WhatsApp us at 8725-7203. Okay, if you want to find out more about programs, I'll be here for the next few minutes to answer anything that you need to clarify. Then if not, right, how many of you will be seeing me next week? Will be next week at same time, Monday, 8 p.m. Right. Okay, if you're meeting me next week, just type me too, or me, then I will see you next week, all right? Okay, I hope you have learned something. We'll have some, we'll be focusing on fractions next week. Right, thank you everybody. Thank you and goodbye.